Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Welcome to the Weather Command Center here in Southwest Ohio. Big Boss now, man. Thanks for those gifted subs. Barb, 2024. I hope you're running for president. Thanks for the follow. Good, greatly appreciated. So, well, let's get right over to the main screen. I can show you what we're looking at here for Nathan. And this thing was looking really great. And she started to turn southeast, and now it's going east because of this merger on the backside. It's screwing everything up.
I tell you what would make my freaking day if this thing kept its path and maybe a little bit north of Ogallala goes right to Lake McConaughey, go get our Lake McConaughey spot and watch this thing rolling. Oh yeah, bolts over the lake. Let's go.
Yeah, that'd be sweet, man. So on the right-hand side, you can see there's no real rotation in this thing, but I'm looking awful high up. I'm looking over 9,000 feet. So Nathan's right there. That's where Nathan's at. So he got past that core.
Nate, the way this thing's heading, I'd stay on 26, get on 30 east, and take that. Be your better option.
Yeah, he's got to get around that lake now. See this dark area in here?
Oh yeah, there we go.
That dark area, that's the lake. So,
anything right now. My fear is this thing goes north of quite a bit north of Ogallala. I'm hoping it follows the actual severe path. I don't see it happening right now. Seems to me it seems to be weakening, but let's hope it re-strengthens and heads right to the lake.
yeah, with that merger on the backside, which is still struggling, it's turned back east again. Actually, slightly north of east on the last few scans.
Yeah, that's gonna kill the storm. I mean, it could still revamp later.
So, just to give you an overview here of
Southeast.
all the severe watches is out. I mean, we got one down here a little bit in Louisiana, mainly over in Mississippi. Down here in Kansas, southeast Colorado, panhandle of Texas, Oklahoma. And it goes all the way up to the west side of South Dakota up here. But this is the key area where we're playing with storms. Nathan is on this storm right here. And you can see here.
Dude, one of my dream shots would be a little water spout in the lake.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
listen to
Someday
Nathan on
it's
Zillow.
gonna happen.
If you look here on the satellite view, you can see how the clouds are blowing that way. The upper level jet is out of the southwest right now. Surface winds are out of the south. So we definitely got some really good winds here. It took these storms a long time to bust the cap. And if you're not familiar with that term, the cap is when there's a warm layer of air up around 5,000 or so feet. And the storms can't grow. In order for storms to grow over here in the studio is you got to have colder air up above so heat rises, and if there's a warm layer of air, hey, thanks for the follow, if there's a warm layer of air up above, it'll go up there and hit that warm layer, and it just can't go no further until it busts the cap. And that's one reason why this storm took so long to even get fired up. Hey Siggy. So that's what held this thing up, and it was looking really good until all this crap up here on the northwest side started to merge with it. Big Boss now with another gifted sub. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Wow, you've given 284 gifted subs to this channel. I love you, man. Big Boss, man, he's cool. He's been with me for quite a while. And for you new people, this is the Weather Command Center here in Southwest Ohio. I run 10 monitors. I am using that one clear up the top right now. That's not a live picture. But that's my setup. So every little bit helps to pay the bills on that. My electric bill is outrageous this month. We got a rate hike too. Thank you, Biden. So with all this crap back over here trying to merge with our really great looking storm an hour ago, we got to wait to see if it reorganizes. The storm was started to turn southeast, which we really wanted. Whoops, hit the wrong button. When they're going northeast and they get enough rotation in them and they turn southeast, or make that right turn, that's when they really get strong. And it has started to do that. That crap blowed up on the backside and started merging with it, and now it's moving east instead of southeast. So that could kill the storm. It's really bad. In other news, over here on Monitor 6, we have our first named Pacific storm in tropical weather talk. It's a little quiet D-trip. In the Atlantic, Cindy, I'll show you that in a little bit. This is Adrian. It just went tropical storm status a little bit earlier, 45 mile per hour wind, 1,002 millibar, moving west at 15 mile per hour. But the bad thing about this is look what it does. It goes until this weekend and it turns north. There's a lot cooler waters up to the north. Especially when you get up around California, man, the sea surface temperatures is in the 60s. As far as Cindy goes, Cindy fell apart, just like I talked about on my last stream. This is Cindy. She's really, and I'll zoom in here for you, she's really disorganized. The low pressure center is actually like right over here. It's getting a lot of wind shear. When it was back over here and going west, there wasn't really any wind shear. Now there's a lot of wind shear going this way, and that just killed Cindy. Now in the 7-day forecast, you can see it's 10% in 2 days, but it's 7 day, it's only a 20% right there, and it's going to stay out to sea. It's going to continue to go north. We got a big high pressure system out here. It's going to start swinging around and go north. It's not expected to really do much. And we do have a tropical wave down here. But because of that same wind shear in this area, this tropical wave right here isn't expected to do anything. And the main development region, which is this area over here, we've got a nice little tropical wave forming off the coast of Africa, but nothing else in between. And let me get it up here while I'm waiting for Nathan's storm to reorganize. We had, we'll look at ocean analysis, and I'll zoom in on it here. This is anomalies. In other words, the white areas is average temp, the reds, oranges, and that's above normal temp, and the blues are below normal temp. And look what happened in this area right here. When Brett and Cindy started to form, it sucked up a lot of the surface warm water that it needed for fuel. So now everything that's coming off of Africa is going to struggle over in this area. And notice what Britt did right here. Look at that blue dot. It sucked up the warm waters there, so nothing's going to form there. Now, like I talked about with Adrian's forming in this area where it's nice and warm, but when it turns north, look at all them blues. That's cold water. Comparatively, it's a lot colder than average temps. So when it gets up in that blue area, it's going to die. anything that goes up in that blue area is going to die. It's just not enough warm waters for fuel. Also, as far as El Nino goes, here's our latest chart as of today. The higher this gets, the more it's into El Nino. You can see there's a drop off here the other day where the East Pacific waters started to cool off a little bit, and it's kind of trying to do it again today. And we had it again back here. But still, it's progressively getting warmer and warmer in the East Pacific. That's El Nino. So Nathan stopped to take a look at it. This thing's looking ugly. It's looking real ugly. It's supposed to blow up yet, so we're not giving up on it. But as long as it's moving east or slightly north of east, it's going to be a bust. Now, a few days ago, well, 2 days ago, we had a really high, severe potential here where I'm at in Southwest Ohio, and it busted. 20 miles away from me, an EF2 tornado totally dissipated, storm dissipated, it totally fell apart, and so I got some winds, knocked out my internet, got a few sprinkles, that's all I got. And here I was in a hatched area, which means EF2 or larger tornadoes, and we didn't get squat. South of Indianapolis and southeast of Indianapolis, really sweet tornado. Let me see if I can find it here. Hey, crazy cat. Okay, let's go over to monitor 6. And this is the tornado that was coming to me. 20 miles away, it fell apart. Now, that apartment complex it's hitting, most of that is under construction still. So, as far as I know, nobody was injured. It didn't even get to the border. 20 miles away in Connersville, Indiana. It just totally died. It sucked. Well, the three systems, and I didn't talk about, well, we got Cindy. Cindy's not really going to do anything. We got Adrian, and then we got this one here. It's in the next 7 days, it's got a 90% chance of forming something. It does, according to the models, look like it's going to hug the Mexican coast. The good news about that is it was projected that the monsoonal season in Arizona was going to be yuck this year. Well, this one down here, if it hugs that Mexican coast, it's going to die out anyway. But it could throw some moisture up for the monsoon season, which starts next month. The month of July is the monsoon season. I'll zoom in on it here. You can see these clouds that are coming up to New Mexico, part of a trough that's over here. But we got a big old high pressure system right there. It's causing all the heat down in Texas. So it's kind of spinning around and bringing in some of the Gulf moisture and some of the East Pacific moisture that's going up here into New Mexico. But Arizona, which is right there, it's projected that the monsoonal season will really be bad this year as far as intensity. It'll be low. Adrian, like I said, it's going to come out here, turn north into the cold water, and just die. So we got to see what this one does. This one could come up along the coast. It's a little too far out. It hasn't even got an invest number on it yet. It could turn in to Mexico, but either way, it could, with this high pressure system up here, it could bring much needed moisture into Arizona. Yeah, Bearcat, that is one. Oh God, I was so disappointed the other day, and then it knocked my internet right out in the middle of a stream. I'm sitting there, I had a real nice stream going, and internet just went out. The winds wasn't that bad here. I had like 40, 45 mile per hour wind gusts, but it wasn't strong enough to knock out my internet. But there was a storm north of me that apparently knocked out my internet. Just south of me, my internet spectrum is fiber optic all the way from Dayton to Oxford, and then it comes north towards me. And but somewhere down the road here, it actually goes to telephone poles. It's not, it's not fiber optic clear to me yet. They're talking about it. I wish they'd go ahead and get that in. I wouldn't have any internet problems. So I was fine here. Power never went out. Just the internet went out. But somewhere along the line from Oxford to north of me, somewhere in there, something happened and it knocked the internet out. So back over here to the main screen, let's see what the heck's going on with this thing. This thing was following this highway right down through here, and now look at it, it's going that way. Sucks. But I tell you what, as far as the severe threat the other day, one model showed that it was going to split as it was coming to me, and no, Adrian, it's not going to make it to California because of the cold waters. The waters off the coast of let's say San Diego is only like 63, 64 degrees. That's not warm enough for Adrian to survive. It'll kill it big time. And it gets colder from there as you go up the California coast. But anyway, the main model that I watched that day was the HRRR, which is a high resolution forecast model. And it showed I should have got a tornado that day. The problem, I think, the biggest problem was the timing. The Cape value, or the potential energy in my area, wasn't until later in the day. Both models all day long was saying the storms, the line of storms would get to me at 7, 8 o'clock at night. That's when the best potentials was. But it got here 3 hours early, and the potential energy wasn't here yet to really drive the storms. It did in southern Indiana. There was a lot of torr warns in southern Indiana, and some really nasty storms in northeast Indiana, and that went over into the Ohio side. But the potential energy just wasn't there. The whole line got here 3 hours early and just screwed all the timing up. And the models got it all wrong. And if you stop and think about it, the day before, Nathan was chasing Iowa, and the models was saying, he should have got something good, and he didn't get nothing but rain. Didn't hardly see any severe warnings where the models showed it should have been. Yeah, Claremont, it really died, Cat, when once it got 20 miles west of me. At that point, it just fell apart. The breezy winds, I got sprinkles. And then it went over to Claremont County, and yeah. So 2 days in a row, National Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center had it wrong. Had it totally wrong. Nathan's chase ended up being a bust, and my day, the following day for me ended up being a bust. But I seen that Tor R coming. I mean, it was actually southwest of Indianapolis when it first went Tor warn. Then it went Tor R 2 different times as it was coming due east, and it was aimed right for me. And if you go back on my VOD, I was showing radar before I lost internet, and it had a nice bird wing look to it and everything. And then all of a sudden, just a few scans later, it was gone. It just died. You have an outdoor concert on Friday? Hey, I'm supposed to be going to see the Wolves on Saturday. The forecast right now is 87 degrees, and they may close it due to the warm temperatures. If it gets too hot, they close down. I won't be able to go see the Wolves. Okay, the latest severe warning on this is moving east at 20 mile per hour, 60 mile per hour wind gusts, half dollar size hail, and no special mentions. NAM NAM is not a short term model. It's more of a mid-term model where the GFS and the Euro is long-term. I rarely use the NAM. I will use it sometime as comparison between the NAM Nest and the HRRR.
Be that, sir.
You got a heat advisory? I tell you what, I got air quality. I got an air quality alert. Let's get over here to monitor 6. I'll show you a drone video I took.
Yeah, looks like it just went severe.
Oh, NAM does do the NAM model does not do any good in short term.
Yeah, looks like it just went severe again.
Let me show you a video here. Let's see. Let's get over to the main drone flight I did. We got that Canadian smoke back again. That low pressure system that brought that line of storms my direction before most of it died out is now in the northeast. So the backside of it, the wraparound. Let me go ahead here. I was looking for my grandson at this point. Is bringing the Canadian smoke back down. Yeah, the NAM 3K is also called the NAM Nest. Look at this haze out here. Right now my air quality is 104. Earlier it was 120. That's horrible. Especially with me with COPD. Look off in the distance up here. Yes, it does smell like burning rubber, but that's the wildfires up in Canada. Now we got the backside of the low pressure systems bringing winds out of the north. Hey, thanks for that tier 1 sub. 6 months now. Congrats. But there you can see how hazy and everything it is. By the way, let me pause this right here. If you look right here, that's where the Nike missile site is. From back in the 50s and 60s. That's the area that actually had the missiles. I still haven't got that video put together yet. I've been so busy doing other crap that I haven't got it done. For those of you that's never heard of the Nike missile program, back in the 50s, the United States put over 120 Nike missile bases all across the country, and they was to shoot down Russian planes that was carrying nuclear bombs. And I got one just down the road from me. They quit using it in the early 70s. I think it was 1972 when it was decommissioned. There's actually 2 separate sites. There's a radar site, and then not far from it is where they actually had missiles underground. And they had elevators that would bring the missiles up and raise it up and shoot it off. Hey, thanks for the follow. While I'm waiting for Nathan Storm to do something, I can This is a picture from back in the 1950s that I was able to gather. This is the radar site, and you can see the barracks. This is the barracks right here. And it was still under construction at this point. These objects over here are towers, and there's actually several more that they ended up adding. That's where the radar actually was. And then, not too far away, is this site, which is what I showed you in that video. This is the actual missile site. And right in here and here and here is where the 3 elevators was. They had over 20 missiles that most of them had nuclear warheads, so they could shoot down the Russian bombers. That's the one that's just down the road from me, and it's only a couple miles away to get to the other site. So there you go. There's the Nike missile base update. These are the missiles that they used. These big bad boys, like the one on the left-hand side, was the one that actually carried the nuclear warhead. The one on the right-hand side was a lower yield explosive warhead that could take out one plane, but the nuclear warhead, like if there was more than one, flying in a squadron, this one could take out a bunch of them at one time, being a nuclear blast. Yeah, there's over 120 nuclear Nike sites all across the country. There was a group of people that revitalized the one in San Francisco, and there's actually video on YouTube showing it. They actually got some missiles. Of course, they don't have the warheads on them or nothing, but and they show the elevators and everything. My underground facility down here, that particular property, actually, when I circled that vertically, it had like a radio tower there. That's owned by Miami University, just down the road from me, and they had to fill in the underground site. Yeah, they've been selling them. Matter of fact, the radar site that I showed you there recently was purchased, and the guy's clearing out all the weeds. Some of the video I've got of it was when there was still a lot of weeds, but I did get a video after the new owner went in there. I'm not sure where the video is right now, but I got to get it all put together. But yeah, they've been, since they're decommissioned, they're selling them out. Now I'm hoping the guy that bought out the radar site will turn it into a historic site and not destroy it. Is the Omega block still in play for the Northeast? Sort of, yeah. Right now, let me zoom out here, go over to the main screen, and I'll show you what's happening. Is we got this big high pressure system down here in the Texas-Mexico area. That's the reason why Texas has got triple digit temperatures. So that's making the subtropical jet come this way, and maybe we can see it better on the water vapor of what's going on. Let's see here. So we got this big old dip over here. That's from a low pressure system about right in there that's bringing the Canadian wildfires. We got a subtropical jet coming across here. Upper level, the northern jet is way up there, and that's all due to this high pressure dome here. And this is slowly going to go east. And the reason why Nathan's chasing storms so far north is because of that big old high pressure system down here. Yeah, most of the Nikes was Army. Matter of fact, the radar site, after they decommissioned it, some National Guard went in there and used it for training. Hey, Big Boss, thank you, man, for that gifted sub. But that's the reason why all these storms are in the northern plains, where normally this time of year we would have them in Texas, Oklahoma, storm chases. But because of that big high pressure system down here, it's throwing everything to the north. It's having to go around that big high pressure ridge. Like I always say, high pressure is a big old bully. So this storm looks horrible. It totally lost its hook. It's lost its rotation. Oh, gosh. This is crap, people. Big bus.
Whatever you do, don't ask me how the storms are going up in South Dakota. Okay? That's where we're going to keep it.
Yeah, he wasn't planning on playing that far north anyway. There is a little cell up there around Chadron, it looks like, but nothing special to the north where he was going to chase. Thanks for that gifted sub, boss. Hey, Big Boss, do you mind if I call you by your real name? Yeah, Big Boss is Fred.
That's funny. That thing is like right on the 2% line too.
Oh, by the way, folks, I've got some changes that I'm going to be doing. I know y'all don't like ads. I don't either.
Back a little bit ago,
But
you asked how they were
I can.
doing.
It would actually help me to pay the bills if I run ads. So here's my plan. I'm not doing it during my stream when I'm talking. Okay, I will play some ads after this stream. I will start playing some ads with my intro, where a lot of people don't even watch my intro. So no, I'm not going to play a million ads, but I can get some extra income to help pay the bills by doing it. I will only do it during the intro. I'll probably do like 5 minutes. You know, my intro totally is 10 minutes long. So, Crazy Cat, you're Lonnie. I got to remember that because you're on here all the time too. So I will only play the ads during the intro and then stop it and not play any ads the rest of the time. But it will, help me out. Oh, Bearcat, now stop that shit right now, man. I'll ban you over that comment. But, oh, God. We don't do politics much, but every now and then I'll go on a rant. Like, what's up with New York and pizzerias? They're making them spend $20,000 to put a scuffer for the ones that burn wood or coal to make pizzas. There's a lot of pizzerias that are going to go out of business because they can't afford to get a $20,000 loan. And that's really not going to help the pollution in New York City. Oh, my God. So there's my rant for today, guys. That's as far as I'll go today. Yeah, if you use a wood stove, then you got to have a scuffer on it, $20,000 scuffer. That will turn the smoke into supposedly steam. So... Oh, God. I don't know, in your house, I mean, crap, they're banning gas stoves up there. What do you think? They're trying to ban air conditioners, washing machines, dryers, furnaces. Roads are racist. Everything's racist nowadays, guys. I'm not, though. Hey, Big Boss, thanks, man. Yeah, somewhere I got a list of all the shit they're trying to ban. And I want to tell y'all something. And I've told most of you this before. Global warming. It's coming no matter what we do. If there was no humans on the face of the earth, we would still have global warming. It happens. There's a cycle because of the earth has a tilt that wobbles, okay? It's like 20 some degree wobble. And every 10,000 years, we'll go from ice age to global warming. 10,000 years later, we'll be back in ice age again. I don't care. If there was no humans on the planet, we still would go into global warming. The earth would. It's happened before. Stop and think about, if you do any history, about northern Africa. Back when the Egyptians was in northern Africa, it was flush trees in northern Africa, not that big desert. Not the Saharan desert was not there 10,000 years ago. It was flush. I don't care if it goes against the agenda. Screw them people. Listen to the scientists, not politicians. Yeah, it used to be a lush jungle in northern Africa. There was no Saharan desert. And they talk about the glaciers melting. Believe it or not, most of the glaciers are melting because of temperatures under the glaciers, not from global warming. There's, especially like the Netherlands and that, the glaciers they got that's melting really fast. Volcanic activity underground is melting the glaciers. So I don't believe none of that crap. I mean, yes, our pollution here on Earth does affect global warming, but to a very small degree. It's going to happen regardless. We can't stop it. Yes, the glaciers, when they melt, it's going to raise our oceans. That is true. But it's happened before. And it's going to happen again eventually. But, Big Boss now, man, you're going to town now. Greatly appreciate that. Appreciate it, Fred. But, yeah, it's all a bunch of bull. They make it sound, and you know what kills me, to continue on a little bit of my rant. United States goes green. We're going to flip the switch and go all electric and do away with gasoline and natural gas, blah, blah, blah. What difference is that going to make when China is building several coal-fired power plants every week? And, oh no, nuclear is out, Bearcat. They're banning nuclear too, even though we're going to help pay for nuclear power plants in another country over in Europe. But they're wanting to ban our nuclear power plants as well. Yeah, exactly. The real bunk man. It's a natural occurrence because of the wobble of the Earth's axis. So, but yeah, they want to just ban so damn much crap. Ban air conditioners, yeah. That's really going to make people happy. Oh, I don't know what I did with that picture. I might have deleted it. A picture of a list of everything. We'll get off that subject. I don't want to get too pissed off. Yeah, they're working on banning pizzas, and their way of banning pizzas And then, Doug, in New York is by putting so much regulation on them that they can't afford to run. One guy, his pizzeria was big enough to where he was able to get a $20,000 loan to put that smoke scrubber system on. Yeah, T-Man, and the reason for that is we are going, well, we're in El Nino now, okay? But still, the Atlantic is still pretty warm. It's cooled off some in the main development region thanks to Brett and Cindy that upturned some of the cooler water. But it's still a possibility of us having an Atlantic season, which hasn't happened in years. As well as the El Nino, which is the East Pacific, which is now starting to fire off. So it's like in between trying to fully merge in to a full El Nino. Yeah, regulations it's too screwed up. Anyway, let's get off that subject. I'm already starting to get my blood pressure off just talking about it. Oh gosh, this storm looks like crap. That ain't what we want to see. Unlike Nathan, I do go on rants from time to time. I usually do it towards the end of the stream, so if you want to bitch at me, I'll just turn the stream off. Oh. Yeah, I've only got a few mile visibility if you've seen that drone video from earlier. My high is supposed to get 91 on Friday. I think I'm just a little bit north of the heat dome that's moving east out of Texas. So, yeah, yeah, the Mississippi Basin, for earlier in the year, there was areas of the Mississippi that the ships couldn't travel. It was in so much of a drought. You were starting to see the bottom of the Mississippi River in some areas. But then, we had a lot of big storms so far in the past couple months that's really filled up the Mississippi, which is great. Now the river traffic, is going like it should be. But the problem is now you got that humidity factor, as well as... And you got to remember now, if you live anywhere near there's a cornfield, you're going to be more humid than any other farm field. And that's from what's called transpiration. The corn stalks, as the taller they get, they expire a lot of moisture. Thanks, Hammers, for the raid. They, let out a lot more moisture than they take in. They take it. Corn really draws a lot of moisture out of the ground, and so it expires or perspirates, called transpiration, moisture into the atmosphere. So, hey, Rebel. So, thank goodness this year the farm field across the road from me is soybeans. So we don't have corn this year. We had corn last year, and it was humid. Didn't know you was streaming, Hammers. Thanks for the raid, buddy. So I got some messages here. Oh, I think I know who this is. Excuse me. I tell you what, Thanks again, Big Boss. I'll tell you what, I went over to my neighbors before I started helping Nathan. And this Canadian smoke, as I called it the last time, the Canadian smoke bomb. I was over at the neighbors for like 10 minutes. I start coughing up a lung. And I'm still coughing. I went over to the store about an hour ago, and on the way back, man, I couldn't hardly breathe. I don't know if y'all was watching Nathan earlier, but I said I had to bring out my secret weapon to try to find my grandson. He took off on me and without telling me where he was going. So I took Sparky up in the air and went looking for him, and I found him. He was over to the store next door. He's only 12 years old, almost 13, and he goes over and helps out, take out the garbage and that, and they give him snacks. And that's where he was. Well, somebody's honking the horn out front. For the people joining my Discord, welcome aboard. I don't get to post a whole lot on there here lately, but I will. Matter of fact, I changed the name of one of the channels in my Discord to Wolf. And as I get more Wolf videos than that, I will be posting. By the way, for all you new people, I'm into wolves. I'm mostly Cherokee, and the wolf is my my spirit animal. So you'll see me post a lot about the wolves. And I just went ahead and made a whole section just for the wolves. Which, this is my new buddy right here. This is Nash. And it's been a couple weeks since I went there because last weekend we took my grandson to the drag races. And so I didn't get to go. Where's that video of me and Nash? Friday here in Claremont County? I don't think so. Matter of fact, for Friday, Kat, they're talking 91 degrees and mostly sunny. Let me see if I can find that video. Daggone, I got so much stuff on my desktop. It should be easy to find. It says me and Nash. I must have moved it. I tried cleaning up my desktop. I got things all screwed up. Come on now, where in the hell is it? I thought I stuck it in this folder. It was a newer one than my scent rub video. And the pups are growing fast. Oh my God. This was my first buddy, Zonta. This is what he does to me. It's called a scent rub. And Nash is even worse. He's a 150-pound timber wolf. And, oh, here we go. This is Nash, what he does to me. He actually puts all of his weight on me. He's almost climbing totally on top of me. He just loves it when he sees me. That video was the last time I was there, and I've only met Nash twice, okay? When my group got to the gate, I was first one at the gate with one of the volunteers, and Nash was standing there at the gate waiting on me. He's whimpering and whining and everything. So they started opening up the gate for us to walk in. There's actually two gates. We got to get into one area and close that gate, and then they could open up the internal gate. And he was right there, come right to me. And usually he don't do that to nobody, even the volunteers that works with him every weekend. And so he runs to the deck and stands on the deck and stares at me and just whimpering and whining until I got up to him. And that's what he did to me. What that video I just showed you. I've got a special connection with Nash. He did scent rub other people that day, but not like he does me, man. He kept coming back to me. Even when, I kind of felt bad because Nash was giving me so much attention, and he was chasing his sister off, me, and he kept chasing her off. And it's like, well, these other people ain't getting their money's worth. So I went around to the other side of the deck. Susie seen his sister, Amii, coming towards me. He came over and growled, chased her off, and climbed on top of me again. So it's so cool. It's amazing. Let me see if I can find the latest picture here. Oh, here's a picture of Arrow. It's one of the males. And Arrow, he's come to me before, but once I get scent rubbed by Nash, Arrow will not come to me at all. Apparently they liked her headdress. That was, they posed that for a special picture, which they charge a ton of money for that. But here's the pups, the 3 pups that they got. There on the top, you can see Creso. He's the only male named after his grandfather, which passed away last year. Nakoma, in the bottom left, she's the smallest one. Not really a rump, but she's the smallest one. And then Sailor's the other female, named by a sailor, a retired Navy vet named her. So they're growing fast. And this is like several weeks old already. By most likely next month, they will actually put them in an enclosure with full-grown wolves, which Arrow is one of them. Oh yeah, Nash definitely adopted me, and I went ahead and adopted him. I sponsored Nash. It cost $350, but I could go in there year-round. It don't cost me nothing. Where normally it's $50 every time you go in with them. So I don't have to pay until May of next year. So I get to go as many times as I want to. Oh, you had a cat named Sailor? Cool. Yeah. The Wolf Creek Habitat that I go to, which is about 45-minute drive for us, it's in Brookville, Indiana. And if you're a veteran, you get special treatment. They really honor our vets. And let me pull a video up here. And I'll mute the music so I don't get. Let's get over here to the main screen. This is inside where you go in to pay. Look at the uniforms. Those are actual veterans' uniforms that have donated them to Wolf Creek Habitat, and there's some of the wolves. There's Nash hanging on the wall there. So, be out on about 1.5 of the walls inside of the office area is enclosed in the wall cases is actual uniforms of veterans that have visited there that donated their uniforms and even their flags. Some of the families have actually donated the flags from their fallen soldier. So it's really cool how they honor our veterans. And I tell you what, folks, that's one thing that really pisses me off with this nation today is patriotism is in the drink. To go on another rant. Our patriotism is nowhere near what it was when I was young. And it's great when I do see somebody honoring our military. I wasn't able to be in the military myself. My brother's was. I actually looked it up on a Cherokee Indian website, and there was a test that you could take. You could probably Google it. Spirit animal test. I hear Nico. Which there is a Nico over at the Wolf Creek Habitat. More docile than Nathan's Nico, I think. That's the storm that Nathan's looking at. Which over here on the main looks like crap. No rotation at all. Still messing around with these other storms that's kind of tried to merge with it and then kind of broke back off again. Nathan's clear down here, by the way. Yeah, whenever I find out somebody is a veteran, I shake their hand. Or even active duty in civilian clothes. Matter of fact, one of the volunteers, really cool guy that works at Wolf Creek Habitat. The last time I was there, I found out he was a vet. And he's a really cool guy. I got to talk to him a little bit, shook his hand. Don't be shy about it. Let them know, man, you care. It's important. Today's day and age, we need to let our people know we care. And I'm dead serious about that. Yeah, I remember at Kelly's funeral, you was real shy. Lisa said hi to me, and you just kind of grinned. When you all was sitting behind me. I wish I could salute, but since I was never in the military, it's just not right for me to salute. But I'm proud to shake their hands and honor them the best that I can. Come on, Storm, do something. I'm running out of crap to talk about. For anybody new here, welcome to the Weather Command Center here in Southwest Ohio. This is it. Right now I'm running all those monitors on one computer, my new one. Or are you, Jeff? Yeah, we could take a look at that. Let me get it up over here on monitor 6. Tomorrow. Actually, Nathan's going to be chasing this back over there where he's at right now. It's only showing a marginal, but there is a 2%. And then we got that 2% up there at Minnesota, Wisconsin, northeast Iowa.
At a great pace to film lightning when there's a storm coming over this lake is amazing.
Yeah, I can remember that, Cat. Both of you so shy you didn't want to say that you liked each other. So that's tomorrow's SPC. And then day 3, look what's coming back over towards me. So I have to keep a close eye out. Right now it only looks with 5% probability I might get some thunderstorms. If I do, I'll live stream it, but I don't think it's going to be anything fantastic the way it's looking.
There you go, no. There you go, no.
Let's look at 4 through 8. I doubt if there's anything right now. Weather pattern's kind of like wishy-washy right now because of that high pressure system down there in Texas, Mexico area. Yeah, you guys got together right after Kelly and Randy passed. I got to do something real quick. Hang tight. I'll leave the radar up. I'll be right back. Give me about a minute. Okay, I'm back. I tell you what, things aren't looking good, man. Starting to lose daylight for the satellite. The only other thing is this crap down here in McCook, up east of North Platte. But there's nothing there, severe warning. That's probably going to go over to Kearney, where Nathan lives. And his original chase was going to be up here at Chadron. This morning, that's what the models look like. But then everything fired up in northeast Wyoming and went over around Rapid City, which it still is. And nothing ever produced up in northwest Nebraska. So then this storm popped up, was real weak, but and then everything else is down there, Kansas, Oklahoma area. So I don't know, guys. I think this is going to be a bust. That's what Nathan's looking at right now. Anybody got any questions you'd like for me to try to answer? As long as my brain don't die out on me. I tell you what, by the way, the other day when we had that serious, supposedly line of crap coming at me, Nathan almost turned around there in Iowa instead of heading on back to Kearney, Nebraska, and started wants to come east. And if it would have panned out and he would have come east, I was going to hook up with him and me and him chase together. But he was a little upset because he changed his mind, and decided to go home. Well, then they put that 10% hatch on the tour risk, which is EF2 or greater potential. But it didn't pan out, so I told him this morning, I said, it's a good thing you didn't waste your gas and come over here. But that would have been cool, right? Me go chase with Nathan. We talked about it last year when he came to visit me, and he stopped by here. Let's see. The one hurricane that Nathan was on where you were most concerned about his safety, that probably was Harvey when it hit Texas. He about got caught in that one. There was water coming up on both sides of the road. I wasn't helping him at the time. Somebody else was. Yeah, that was Hurricane Harvey. But that wasn't the only one. I get real concerned anytime he's near something, significant like that. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. This is when Nathan came to see me last year. Me, Nathan, and my son, Sean. He had never had Skyline Chili before, so that's where we went for lunch. We went to Skyline Chili here in Oxford, Ohio. We was going back to our cars. Matter of fact, that's my son's car there behind us. Sean was the only one without gray hair, but we all got beards. Oh gosh, that was fun. We had a good time. I mean, that's the first time that he'd been here to where I live at. The only time. Yeah, the Three Amigos. Which, it was great having that camaraderie with him all these years, and for him to come visit me. It's the second time he came to visit me. The other time is when I lived in Canton, Illinois, and he stopped by. The biggest mistakes I ever made in my life was moving to Illinois. But yeah, the camaraderie that me and Nathan's had over the years. Yeah, I'm not sure, Jeff, if I'm not much of a road racer, but a Grand Prix style on the streets of Chicago, it might be pretty cool. I forecasted right the other day for the NASCAR race. I told you the storms wouldn't get there until like after midnight, and they didn't. I got that one right. The storm that was coming at me, I didn't get right. Actually, I don't think Nashville got hit at all the other day. I think it went east of Nashville. I don't always get them right, but I'm pretty damn good for somebody that don't have a degree in it. Yeah, Canton, Illinois. There was only two people that I actually really liked. Well, maybe three that I actually really liked there that actually helped me out. Me not being able to drive and being stuck there. I lived on the north end of town, apartment complex right next to Walmart. And they stayed open all night. Of course, they was mainly stocking shelves, but their doors were open, and that's where I'd go to get my cigarettes. And then across the highway on the west side of me was a gas station where I always bought my beer. Which, that town was kind of crazy. There was 3 different sales taxes at that gas station because it was in town. And where Walmart was just outside of town, so I only have 1 sales tax to pay. But that was the worst mistake I ever made in my life of all the places that I've lived and moved to, including when I went out to LA back in the 70s. That was a big mistake too, but my foreman pulled a knife on me and I got fired over it. That was an experience, but I was younger, you know. I could defend myself back then, but yeah, moving to Canton, Illinois was a huge mistake in my life. I missed out on a lot of good things by moving over there. But oh well. You never know until you try, right? You know, I was trying to make a change in my life. Thought I met somebody that would help me with my health and everything. She really tricked me and took all my money. Once I ran out of money, she kicked me out. I was totally homeless. I managed to get into a hotel, barely. And as soon as I got my next disability check, then she felt sorry for me and let me move back in. As soon as that check run out, then she kicked me back out again, and I was totally homeless until I got in an apartment. And then my stuff that was stolen at her place, she stole about $3,000 worth of my stuff, and the cops wouldn't do nothing. So yeah, I got bitter memories of Canton, Illinois. But I had a damn good landlady. She really helped me out. She got my rent cut more than 50%. I didn't even ask her to. She was a young girl. I still get a message every now and then from her. Her husband was a drummer as well, so me and him got along great. So anyway, I don't see anything happening with this thing at all. She's turned east, no longer going southeast. We got all this garbage down here. So I tell you what, guys, I think I'm going to call it. I think I'm going to call this chase. I've already told you about the tropical weather stuff. So I think I'm going to go ahead and end the chase. Thank you very much for all the subs, any bits that I might have missed, any direct donations. Great. I greatly appreciate it. Helps me to keep all this running, which I got to spend some more money on some of this stuff. We'll be switching over to Windows 11 soon. I've actually got it on another hard drive installed. I just got to finish setting it up. I'll be switching it over. It does seem to run faster on my system than this Windows 10 does. But I got to wait till Nathan quits chasing first. Oh, gosh. So, I don't dare start redoing everything when I got to help him out. So anyway, Big Boss Now, thank you, bud, for all the gifted subs and everybody else. Oh, wait a minute. This just went severe warning again. Due east at 46 mile per hour wind gust, quarter size hail. Nothing special about it. It's going to continue to move east. So, greatly appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Y'all take care, and we'll do it again. Let's see. I can do another stream tomorrow night. Give you a tropical update, if nothing else. Plus, we're going to be storm chasing out there in the same area tomorrow, it looks like, according to the model so far. Out there where Nathan is right now. So we'll do it again tomorrow, right? So until then, for you new people, here's what we say on this channel at the end of the day. Peace. Pop a top for me. We'll catch you on the next broadcast. Stay safe, y'all.